Hello and welcome to Attackers of Opportunity. This is your DM, Michael. I'm sitting around a virtual table with some of my friends, and oh yes, we're gonna play some D&D.
Oh yeah!
We have our heroes currently on a ship. Little Dicky on a ship. Dicky in a box on a ship.
Oh,
I thought you were making a dinghy joke.
Hey, that's good.
Sorry, I was trying to buoy all your spirits.
Oh.
Boo ye. This is what happened. This is what happened. We spent 6 weeks doing Ren Fair together, and now it's this.
That's just dad jokes.
What can I say except you're welcome?
Mm-hmm. No.
My God.
So the heroes had made their way onto Black Fang's fist.
What? We did what now?
Under
Yeah,
his
we did.
fist?
One more
Little
time.
Dicky led the charge.
Sorry, my brain jumped over to Dragon Ball reference to Wolfang Fist, Yamcha's special move in the early seasons of Dragon Ball.
Your mind frightens me.
Sorry.
So we're on Black Fang's fist, okay?
Yeah.
Captain Black Fang's ship, and you all were headed to Turtle Dragon Island, hoping to perhaps get some information and move along in your adventure a bit. On the way there, on about day 7 of your travels of an estimated 8 or 9 day trip to the Turtle Dragon Island, you noticed in the distance a trio of ships. A bit of reconnaissance was done, and it was identified that one of the ships was another quote-unquote former pirate ship called the Fires of the Varung. The opportunity to perhaps board their ship to either discuss with them or take out their command structure was proposed. People began to saddle up to Valak so he could use his teleportation helm to get you all over to the ship. And in the last moment, with Moonbeam sitting on his shoulder, Valak released his hands from all of you, teleporting just himself and Moonbeam, ideally to the Flames of the Varung. Little bit of teleportation mishap, landed on one of the other ships, bounced back over to the Varung, and had a conversation with the group of pirates there, trying to convince them that, oh, hey, we can all be friends. We don't have to attack here. The pirates of the Varung were less than entirely convinced, and Valak teleported away back to Black Fang's ship. With that, the potential for some naval combat came into play as you all are on Black Fang's ship. The trio of other ships, the little flotilla, is on the move as well, as you are all seemingly headed, at least in the general direction, of the Turtle Dragon Isles. I have a handout that I'm going to be showing to all of you, just to give you a quick idea of the 3 other ships. And as far as distances, there will be several hours of transit time between you and this other fleet of ships. You all are probably, if you sailed an intercept course directly for them, it would probably be about a 4-hour journey. Sorry, not a 3-hour cruise, a 4-hour journey.
What about a tour?
Say it again.
What about a tour? What about a 3-hour tour?
Yeah, a 3-hour tour.
That's what these ships thought they were on, but we have other plans.
No. So, at present, there is not immediate danger to the ship that you all are on. However, if you choose to pirate the other pirates, this would be a wonderful opportunity to do so. Black Fang is very much not a fan of the leaders of the Varung. So, if you all engaged in combat or tried to convince him to engage in combat, he would absolutely join in willingly in that battle. You also have the opportunity to completely avoid them if that's what you so choose. Certainly, Valak seemed to want to take a peaceful approach. However, we do not have Michael Kolb with us today. So Valak is just kind of like poofs into plasma on the side and doesn't have a voice right now.
Like,
All
I've
of
spoken,
you,
I'm done.
when my slightly more bloodthirsty Platinum Ring members, what all would you like to do? Would you like to ready for combat? Or
Are they on the way? Are they on the way, or do we even need to?
You don't need to. They aren't completely out of your way. If you were driving from, say, Burbank, California to LAX airport, this would be like swinging by downtown LA.
Oof.
Oh.
The distance is not that much more.
Okay.
So, yeah, real quick, the town that we're going to, or the
Turtle Dragon Island.
the isle that we are going to, it moves, right?
Correct.
And so in order to get to it, you have to somehow have some kind of contact that tells you exactly where it is?
The Turtle Dragon Isles moves, at least for the pirates, it has sort of rendezvous points where pirates are, where it knows that, hey, on the third week of the fourth month of summer, the Turtle Dragon Isles are usually in this area. Some of them may also have, magical compasses that always point to Turtle Dragon Isles. You all have not investigated that point. You've trusted that Black Fang is taking you to the Turtle Dragon Isles, and clearly he got you there previously because you have spent a night and gotten into a bar brawl on the Turtle Dragon Isles in the past. See about episode 115-ish, I want to say.
And then the isle that we are going to, I want to get some more details before we decide. It's kind of like Tortuga-y, right? It's a place where they...
See what you did there.
Tortuga Dragon Island? What?
Tortuga. That's why I was having difficulty saying it.
It is a hive of scum and villainy.
Great.
Good.
It is the pirate hangout. It is solely built upon, the loot of pirates over the years and their association with the Turtle Dragon.
2 more questions.
Mm-hmm.
The folks that we just talked to with the 3 ships
Yes.
used to be pirates and are now basically privateers of their own world, right?
They are claiming that they are now in the service of a duke who has some territory on the eastern shore of the western continent. It's the kind of the country over from Tavahia, northeast of Zixa.
So these privateers are going to Turtle Dragon Isle, the mecca of pirates.
Wait, they are? No. I thought they were,
Okay, that was the next thing.
They're just doing their own thing, right?
They're doing their own thing. We were intercepting.
Well, they seem to be headed in generally the same direction you are. If these guys were absolutely, unequivocally pirates in the past, now they claim to have some legitimacy. Whether that claim is legit or not, it is perhaps open for debate and depending on which policing force or other country you want to speak to. But they do seem to be headed in the same direction you all are on, sort of converging courses.
And there's no sort of piratey code of ethics that says don't attack each other while trying to get into our bay, right?
Actually, because of Maeve/Freya's history, you could roll me a history or just straight intelligence to see what you remember about that.
All right, let's see here. Which is better? No, history, they're exactly the same. Oh, but I'm not. It's a nat 20.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah,
You know
duck
all the
die.
secrets.
It's my duck die.
Okay.
Oh, it's my fun guy.
That fun guy is a fun die. All right.
Yeah.
You know that pirates are sort of a loose confederation. It's not exactly built on trust, but if one group of pirates screws over another group of pirates, the word gets around.
Right.
Now, if there's a group that's already an outsider group that everybody's kind of okay with you fucking with them, you can screw them over and no one will care. The pirate code is more of a set of guidelines.
Guidelines.
And about the rules.
It is something where Captain Blackfang seems to be a pirate in quote-unquote good standing amongst the other pirates. It's unlikely that other pirate groups would try to screw him over. The Varung is sort of in a questionable state. They have said to some parts of the world, oh, we've turned our backs on our pirating way.
And to others, just kidding. And we didn't get any kind of information as to why they were heading in this direction, right?
No, there was no piece of that conversation.
Well,
They did say to Valak that they are sometimes hired to carry cargoes or peoples. It wasn't exactly that phrasing, but it was in that vein.
unfortunately, the opportunity to find out information was stolen from us
That's a bit.
by Valak.
What did Valak say, Moonbeam, when he was over there?
Not much, but he found out that he didn't like what they were doing, and it would be better for the larger population if we took them down.
He didn't like what they were doing. What does that mean? What are they
They
doing?
seem to pirate, even though they think they're not pirates, but they definitely still pirate, and they take over ships, but then they'd ship, I don't know.
How did he find all that out so
They were
quickly?
very open about it.
Really? They said, hey, we're pirating?
Interesting.
Yeah, they weren't very shy.
I would like to ask a clarifying question in these, call it 18 seconds of conversation, so about 3 rounds. While Moonbeam is talking to people, is she doing anything else with her flame spirit that is off near the other little fleet of ships? Is she just having it move along with them, or is she casting her spells through it while she's talking to the rest of the party?
I want to cast a spell through it because I feel like they were already amassing their men to start attacking, and I want to burn some sails.
Okay.
So right as this information is happening, we can see the ships a ways away, but we can see them, right?
You can't see them very clearly unless you had a spyglass or perhaps glasses of minute seeing and rolled a good perception check.
These?
So here, I'll let you decide if this is possible. But I think that would be a great moment to just turn and be like, well, Black Fang, it is up to you. What do you want to do? And then suddenly we just see flames.
Let me have a look here. Oh.
Yes.
All right, Dorian, what was your number on your perception check?
You hadn't asked for it yet, but here it is. It's on the way. 17.
Yeah. With 17, with the glasses of minute seeing, yeah, you're kind of looking over there at the moment the spell erupts. Moonbeam, tell me what spell it is that you cast and what you're going for with it.
I'm going to do Scorching Ray right toward the main mast. You know how the sails connect on that like T-bar?
Mm-hmm.
I want to have the Scorching Ray go directly towards that. All three of them.
Okay.
Do you want me to do a D20 to hit?
Yes, please.
You got it. That is... What is my...
A flame being walks onto a pirate ship.
Right. Yeah, it just starts burning it. That is a 14.
Fire to the ship.
14, yes, that connects to the wooden poles that are tied to each other.
Man, I can't wait to get our like ship people being like, you didn't know the names of any of these things.
It's a boat, just to make people angry.
Yeah, it's the boat. It's at 15 damage.
Okay. Yes, you hit, rather than the main mast, you actually hit the mizzen mast on the ship, which is sort of the rear set of masts. You hit it at the, is it hawser or something? There's some word that actually is the connecting rod.
Yeah, makes sense.
So you throw the flame directly at that. How much damage was it?
15.
15. Yeah, some of the ropes that they use begin to burn away at that. The wood itself is treated so as to resist some of this because, fire is a hazard on ships. So the wood resists some of the flame, but the ropes begin to burn away, and one of the ropes swings down as it's on flame and connects with the sail itself, and the sail slowly begins to start to char. It doesn't immediately engulf in flame. It doesn't cause them to stop moving, but it does begin to eat away at one of their sails. I'm assuming that you are attacking the fires of Varung here, or were you hitting one of the two escort ships that seem to be cargo ships?
No, when the fires of Varung. Yeah.
Okay, the actual other pirate ship. Mm-hmm. Cool. So yes, it begins, and Dorian, you see all the flame happen. You see the burning rope come down and swing and connect with the sails, and you can see with your 17 perception and glasses of minute seeing that arms are called on their ship, and 3 sailors start climbing up the shrouds, the rope netting on the side, and they are running up the mast as quickly as they can to try to get the burning rope away from the sails and or furl the sails to make it a little less susceptible to flame.
Well, that's interesting. The sails are on fire. They're trying to put them out.
So Black Fang looks at Freya and goes, I guess that sort of answers the questions. To arms, boys, to arms! As he shouts to the rest of the ship.
Maybe they need help.
Real quick, did you still want to keep the ships for yourself?
If we're able to capture the ships, the prize payments on those would be significant if we're able to capture all 3, especially if we're able to capture it with all of their ill-begotten loot and cargo on board.
Great. And then she raises her own voice, turns this down. Avasti, pirates! At arms! And don't ruin the ships!
The sails are replaceable, right?
Roll a persuasion or just straight charisma roll on that.
I guess she's a pirate princess.
Yeah. Every pirate princess needs a little murder pixie,
Go with
Her parrot.
persuasion. That's 25 for persuasion.
Fuck yeah.
Okay, yeah. You shout that out. Captain Blackfang grins broadly. You see his gunmetal gray tusk in clear light. His grin is so large you can see it down to its base. Mm-hmm. And some of the other pirates that are around you as they hear get a grin on their face because they also recognize that their share of the prize claim would definitely be more than a few clams.
Mm-hmm.
And so, Moonbeam, you have cast a spell. Dicky, while this is going on, is there anything particular you're trying to... Are you just going to kind of hang out and let the fighter people do the fightery thing?
I'm currently thinking of how to rid the people of a boat without burning the boat. It's tough because we just finished playing a pirate game that lasted like a year. So I just wanted to
You
say,
can't
Chris,
escape.
turn into Cthulhu, which is what people do sometimes.
Like 3 times.
Yes, I love that. Love a good eldritch being.
So how far away until we make contact?
You're at 150 miles. Like, you're 4 hours at
forward.
least
Okay,
before you can
sorry.
get into sword
Why
fighting
would we-
range.
So, yeah.
It'd be a shame if
but-
all their sails burned, wouldn't it?
Yes, perhaps we don't do that.
That ship's going to be gone by the time we get there.
No, just the sails.
I mean, at this point, I just walk.
Okay. Well,
Just
you
a
could...
shame.
Nap, maybe?
You could also try to inspire the crew. You could think about naval tactics and maybe something to...
4 hours?
Yes. You could, if you had spells of prep or protection or anything like that you wanted to do.
It's 150 miles away, man.
Right. I'm just saying you have time to prep. And,
Yes, I
and
do.
the bard
We'll take it
inspiring the pirates as they prep would also potentially be useful. If you're hanging out and waiting, you are lying in wait as Aaron Burr would do in the musical Hamilton. Totally
Yes.
cool.
I smile more.
Are you willing to wait for it?
Wait for it, yes.
Excellent. And Dorian, you watch some of the sails start to burn. It's a little outside the range of Eldritch Blast, but is there anything you'd like to do? Or even in the 4 hours as the ships begin to move closer, is there anything you're trying to do?
There's not much I can do. I'm just
And that's fair. You guys your characters are not trained to be on ships other than Maeve, so there's not a whole lot of tasks. You are enthusiastic if unskilled labor.
Captain Blackfang, if I may.
Yes. What is it, Dorian?
So, if, say, some of their personnel were to, unfortunately, fly overboard, which would be the worst ones for them to lose?
Well, any of their captains, any of their first officers, anyone that had a quarterstaff or a halberd, because they could protect a lot of deck space with a weapon like that, which makes it harder to get in and fight and take over other ships.
Right. Who should I target first when we get there?
I'd go for their captains.
Yeah.
What does he look like again? I refresh my memory.
Look for the biggest hat.
like cyborgish, sort
Like
of,
metal guy.
The crew of the Varung. Yeah, I know there's like 3 guys. I know at least 3 of them. One of them had an artificer built him an arm at one point, like all the way up to his shoulder, all metal. And then he had another artificer like do some kind of enchantment around his eyes, and it allowed him to see all the way around him, so you could never be surprised.
Good. Yes, I'll target him.
One of the other guys, the guy who truly seemed to be in charge, people just called him the Baron. Leather coat, dueling sword. He was the kind who could sell a snail the shell it was already wearing.
Okay.
And then they had a smart wizard fellow. I'm blanking on the name. But a smart wizard fellow. He had a little ogre blood, I think, in him, but mostly human. And he was sort of their wizard, their super smarty pants.
Right. Okay.
Maybe take out his wizard.
Yes, that's what I'm
they can attack
thinking.
with.
Good. Thank you. You've been most helpful, and I will wreak havoc upon them.
I love it. I see why Freya likes you. Now, Murder Pixie, do some more.
Yeah.
What's the range on your spell?
Moonbeam, is there another spell that you'd like to cast out of your flame spirit?
I would. Also, I am curious. My flame spirit gets its own turn too. Do we want to negate that since I'm casting from it?
I think it would be safe to assume that your flame spirit is using its turn to keep moving apace with the ships.
Yeah, true. Yeah, it also can teleport 30 feet too if it needs to catch up at any point.
Okay.
Having heard what Captain Blackfang just said, a lot of people aren't going to like this. It's going to happen now. And she saw, I think she saw all the people that he had just mentioned, correct? When she was there with Alec?
Yes.
Perfect. She's going to cast Wall of Fire on the entire deck of the main ship.
And because the ship itself is moving through all of this, it's going to force the deck of the ship through the wall of fire. Thus, anyone on the deck will have to face the penalty of this.
Yeah.
Okay. Wall of fire.
It's a deck save. It's 60 feet long, 20 feet high, and a foot thick.
20 feet high. I think that will hit a sail as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it's a dexterity save.
Deck save. And what is the DC?
Great question. I think it's 16. Yeah, 16.
Okay.
I like to imagine your fire spirit is like that little blue guy from Super Mario.
Oh my god, yes.
You're all gonna burn.
All right. Going with some actual dice here for once.
Yeah.
All that rope netting.
Okay. 2 6s, a 4, and an 8.
Oh,
Then also a
my.
17 and a crit.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. So anyone who passes is going to do half damage, but the other ones, oh yes.
That's going to be ugly.
Oh.
And that's not all of the people. I just kind of rolled that as a representative set of generally how well do they do.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's great. So it's 30 total damage for this
Okay.
for this one.
For this one.
Yeah, because I keep it up for a minute at least. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to have to start jotting notes here. Oh, and the ship itself is going to fail that. So the ship itself is going to burn a bit.
Yeah.
All right, so Dorian, keeping your eye on this with the minute seeing, glasses of minute seeing, you see Adar, who's the guy with the mechanical arm, almost kind of like reach out as the flame gets to him, and he almost bats away part of the flame wall, and it splits the flame a little bit around him, so he gets scorched much less. You also see their wizard, the guy that's part ogre. He reaches up and his hand, and it's an arcane gesture that you've seen before, and energy flows around in front of him, and he is protected from the majority of the flame damage coming at him. I will say that those are the 2 successful rolls on that, so I'm going to take the half. But the Baron sitting there in his leather coat hunkers down for a moment, like draws the leather coat in front of his face so that his face at least is not burned as the flames wash over him. But after the ship passes through the wall of flame, you see him come up and shake himself off a little bit, and bits of his coat are burned as he has taken the full brunt of the wall of flame.
Yes.
Moomim's maniacally laughing, and I feel like her fire spirit is absolute mirroring it.
Just fires.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, they didn't like that.
Good. Keep on it. Don't ruin the ship.
The ship does take some damage on that. A lot of the ropes burn away. The bottoms of the sails begin to char as well. But you see, in response to that, the couple of guys that were up on the rigging start to furl up the sails. Makes it more difficult for them to burn from the fire attacks. And with that, though, their speed slows, and the other 2 ships, in response, start to furl their sails a bit, and they begin to slow as well, trying to all keep them at least somewhat grouped together.
Oh, that's slowing them down?
All right. I need to
out. I'm like,
That's great. That's perfect.
I need to look at a spell text to see if it actually does what I want it to do.
Also, I'm just envisioning Moonbeam's eyes just like flaming as well.
Okay.
Sparkly flames.
The flame spirit itself. What level spell did you cast that at?
That was a 4th level.
As a 4th level. Okay. So you see their wizard concentrate for a moment after the wall of flame passes over him, and his hand reaches out and he points towards your flame spirit, and he will attempt to dispel magic on it. It is DC equals 10 plus the spell's level, so 14. His bonus is his spellcasting modifier. That's a 17 on the die. So after the 2 spells that you get off with your flame spirit, he reaches out and dispels the flame spirit.
Gotcha. I did some damage though.
Yes. And Dorian, in the seconds after that, you see a couple of the guys that were really badly burned. They're getting their flames put out. Buckets of slightly damp sand get thrown on them to help smother the flames on their clothes. And sort of a almost fire brigade starts on the ship, trying to put out the remaining fires that exist.
Question about that. Did he dispel just my flame spirit or the wall of fire too? Because it's concentration based on me, I think. But I think the wall of fire might still be up.
Yes, I think the wall of fire is still up.
Gotcha. Fire spirit's just gone.
Yeah, so you're
Gotcha.
able to cast new spells out of it. Now, can you relocate the wall of fire?
No, but it stays up for a minute as long as I'm concentrating on it. So I'm going to guess more of the ship ends up passing through it or something.
Gotcha. In that set of rolls, I envisioned that was the ship moving through the wall of fire, because it would have been moving with the wind. It would have been moving 20 knots and probably would have cleared its distance in maybe 2 turns.
That just means that the ocean is on fire.
Yeah.
Well, 30 feet up from the ocean is on fire.
yeah.
Floating fire.
Not weird at all.
I mean, no.
No, I like it.
So while this is happening, I'm going to run down to Black Fang's office because I know where he stores the pretty guns.
Ooh.
The captain's quarters.
The captain's quarters. And I'm going to take 2 of them, 2 really nice firearms.
Excellent.
You can have them back, and then I'm taking a bunch of ammo as well.
Gotcha. So in opening one of the storage chests or weapons lockers in the captain's quarters, you do see that there are 3 very ornate guns. 2 of them look like dueling pistols, and the others almost a rifle size. You know that some of these weapons can do pretty cool effects, but it takes a while to load them. That's their kind of drawback in this world. They're hard to make, and they're hard to load. But the ammo itself is actually like expelled wands cut up to form the weapon core, or the core of the bullet, so that as you're firing almost spells out of them.
Cool.
Plus, don't forget, you also have the wand of magic missile.
Oh, I know. They've just never seen me with guns.
Yes.
Yeah.
Every element that you picture a normal pirate having, the hat, the guns, the swagger, the blah, 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 she has hid this entire time. Now you get to see all of it.
A lot of weight.
The guns.
Dickie, on the deck as this is going, and the Black Fang's ship, which I don't believe you guys have ever asked the name of Black Fang's ship, but Dickie, as you were seeing kind of the evolution as they are preparing for battle, you see these sections of the deck actually be lifted out, the timbers themselves lifted out in like 10 foot by 10 foot sections, and as they're lifted out and moved away, a platform that is under the deck begins to rise up, and 2 very large arbalists. Yes, arbalists.
Everything
Raised from the lower deck, and you have these 2, mammoth crossbow mounts come up, and effectively gun crews begin to prepare to fire those. Thank you for listening to Attackers of Opportunity. We really enjoyed making this podcast, and I hope that you enjoyed listening to it. If you did, please go ahead and leave a 5-star review on iTunes or whatever platform you're listening to this podcast on. Also, you can find us on Instagram at Attackers of Opportunity. Have yourself a great day, and we'll see you on the next episode.